Let's start with something uncomfortable but honest. If you're working hard, earning money, doing everything right, and still feel like taxes are draining you dry, you're not imagining it. You're not bad with money. You're not irresponsible. And you're definitely not alone. You're paying more taxes than you should, not because you earn too much, but because you earn the wrong way in a system that quietly rewards some behaviors and punishes others. And once you see how it actually works, you'll never look at your paycheck the same way again. Most people grow up believing taxes are simple. You earn money, the government takes a cut, and that's just life. The more you earn, the more you pay. Fair enough. That story sounds reasonable until you realize two people can make the same amount of money and pay wildly different taxes. Same country, same year, same income, completely different outcomes. That's not a bug. That's the system doing exactly what it was designed to do. Here's the first truth no one tells you. The tax system is not built around fairness, it's built around behavior. Governments don't just collect money. They use taxes to shape how people earn, spend, invest, and build. And the people who understand that don't fight the system. They align with it. If you earn a salary, the system treats you one way. Your taxes are automatic, visible, and unavoidable. Your money is taxed before it even touches your hands. No strategy. No timing. No flexibility. That's not because you're careless, it's because wage income is the easiest income to tax. It's predictable. It doesn't move. It doesn't hide. And it can't negotiate. Now compare that to people who earn through ownership instead of labor. Business owners, investors, asset holders, creators, founders. Their money doesn't arrive as a straight paycheck. It flows through companies, contracts, expenses, depreciation, and timing decisions. And every one of those steps changes how much tax is owed. This is where the gap begins. Take Jeff Bezos. For years, headlines screamed that he paid little or no federal income tax. People were furious. They thought he was cheating, hiding money, gaming the system. But Bezos wasn't avoiding taxes illegally. He simply didn't earn his wealth as income. His net worth grew because Amazon stock grew. And here's the key. Unrealized gains aren't taxed. If something goes up in value but you don't sell it, the system doesn't consider that income. On paper, Bezos looked low income while becoming one of the richest people alive. That sounds unfair until you realize the system was built that way on purpose. Governments want people to build companies, grow markets, and create long-term value, so they tax growth differently than paychecks. The same logic applies to Elon Musk. For years, Musk's wealth exploded while his taxable income stayed relatively small. Not because he was hiding money, but because appreciation isn't income. It's potential. When he finally sold shares, he paid a massive tax bill, one of the largest ever. But notice the timing. He paid when he chose to trigger the event, not when the value grew. That's power. And it comes from structure, not income level. Now let's talk about something even closer to home. Celebrities and entertainers. When you hear that actors or musicians make tens of millions, you probably imagine that money landing in their personal bank accounts like a giant paycheck. That's not how it works. Taylor Swift doesn't tour as an employee, she tours as a business. Her music, her image, her performances, all of it flows through companies that manage licensing, royalties, production, and distribution. Royalties are taxed differently than wages. Intellectual property is treated differently than labor. Expenses can be deducted. Timing can be controlled. Every tour stop is a business transaction, not a paycheck. Actors do the same thing. Dwayne Johnson doesn't just get paid to act. He owns production companies. His brand is structured. Marketing costs, travel, staff, training, all of it becomes part of a business ecosystem, not personal spending. Meanwhile, the average worker pays taxes first and figures life out afterward. That's the asymmetry. This is why people feel like the rich don't pay taxes, because they're comparing different types of income as if they were the same. They're not. The tax code treats earned income, business income, and investment income very differently. Earned income, wages, is taxed the hardest and most consistently. Investment and business income get flexibility, incentives, and long-term advantages. Not because rich people wrote the rules for themselves, but because governments want capital to move, grow, and build things. Here's where most people overpay without realizing it. They think taxes are about how much you make. In reality, taxes are about how you make it. If your income comes only from wages, you're locked into the most expensive lane in the system. No exits, no shortcuts, no timing control. Every raise pushes you into higher taxation without giving you new tools to manage it. This is why working harder often feels pointless. You earn more, but keep less. Not because effort doesn't matter, but because structure matters more. Another reason people overpay is misunderstanding deductions and expenses. For employees, most life costs are considered personal. Commuting, clothing, education, technology, meals, all paid with after tax money. For businesses, many of those same costs are operational. They reduce taxable income before taxes are calculated. Same expense, different category, different outcome. Then there's depreciation, one of the most misunderstood concepts in the entire system. Certain assets can lose value on paper while gaining value in reality. That means someone can reduce taxable income while becoming wealthier at the same time. That's not cheating, it's accounting. And it's written into law. Timing is another silent advantage. Taxes are calculated yearly, but wealth is built over decades. People with structure decide when to earn, when to sell, and when to defer. If you control timing, you control taxes. Most people don't even realize timing is an option. And that's the real problem. Not that the system exists, but that no one teaches how it works. From school to work, the message is the same. Earn more, save more, file correctly. Don't ask questions, don't complicate things, just comply. So people do. And they overpay. Quietly, legally, and consistently. Meanwhile, influencers, creators, entrepreneurs, and even mid-level business owners learn quickly that getting paid as a person is expensive, but getting paid as a brand changes everything. That shift alone from individual to entity can transform how income is taxed, how expenses are treated, and how money compounds. And here's the most important part. You don't need to be rich to understand this. The biggest advantage isn't money, it's awareness. Most people think companies are something you create after you're successful. In reality, companies are often the reason success accelerates. They're not trophies, they're tools. Tools that the tax system actively rewards. This is why blaming the wealthy misses the point. They didn't escape the system. They learned it. They didn't break the rules. They read them. And once you understand that, something shifts. Taxes stop feeling like punishment and start feeling like feedback. Feedback about how your income is structured, not how hard you work or how smart you are. You're not paying more taxes because you're failing. You're paying more taxes because you were never taught how the game is actually played. And the moment you start learning, the system feels less oppressive and far more intentional. Not fair, but not random either. And that knowledge alone changes everything. If this video made you pause, rethink, or even feel slightly uncomfortable, that's a good thing. That means you're starting to see the system more clearly. And clarity is power. If you know someone who works hard but still feels stuck, someone who thinks taxes are just the cost of life, share this video with them. Not to argue, but to open their eyes. Drop a comment and tell me this. What was the one part of the tax system you never knew before today? Or what surprised you the most? I read every comment, and your insights shape what we talk about next. If you want more videos that break down complex systems without the fluff, money, power, behavior, and the rules nobody explains, make sure you subscribe. New videos every week. And here's a challenge. Before the next paycheck hits, ask yourself one question. Am I earning money, or am I structured to keep it?